Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, what we have right here before us is a corded Ingersoll Rand 1-inch impact driver. Now this joker right here is heavy duty. I mean, you can just look at it. I mean, when was the last time you saw a daggone impact driver of any size had grease zerks on it? I mean, you don't see that kind of stuff anymore. Well, things I know about the tool is it runs, it goes forward and backwards, and it doesn't work at all. There's a gear right here, right, that connects to the hammer, and it has sheared its rivets that hold it together. And that was probably there for I guess it was there as kind of a safety precaution where if you overloaded it or did something stupid, those would fail. But I've been in here once before, and that's when I was trying to figure out what was wrong with it. I went ahead and cleaned out the rivets where they had sheared and got stuck. I went ahead and knocked those out while I was there because I didn't know how long it was going to be before I got to this thing to try to fix it. But I got to thinking about it, and I came up with an idea. So, they use solid core crush rivets, so I'm sure aluminum pop rivets would be close enough. You think those would work? Yeah, they'll probably work. They'll probably be fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the back of this thing off right here, the gear case, open it up, and I'll show you what two parts need to go back together. Alright? How's it giving? I got this here Craftsman Allen key tool for, well, it's free basically. They got thrown off the back of a fire truck. It had been left up in the hose bed for so long it had seemingly seized solid. Little penetrating blaster, and this bad boy went right back to working. And conveniently, it's got the right bits for this joker. Now you may be asking yourself, why would someone need a tool like this? I mean, it's obviously not very ergonomically correct. It weighs a ton. Looks like it'll break your wrist, probably will. And I could get something much nicer and cordless from, say, Milwaukee, and I'm sure it would outperform it. Well, that's a pretty good argument. But to counter that, I mean, it was free, and it looks cool, so that's good enough. One of the nice things about this that you don't see often on tools this old is this was stored properly, so this cord is still very soft, it's rubbery, it's not cracked at all. I mean, honestly, that's pretty daggone rare. Turn this up so I can actually get to these bottom ones. Now, I will say one advantage to having a corded tool is, yeah, it's not as portable. But now you got to buy the big daggum batteries, especially for a tool this size. It's going to eat right through them, and they're going to cost a ton. And of course, I bought Milwaukee impact drivers because that's the tool system I already have, and I don't know if y'all seen the price tag on those things, but it's pretty doggone high, I tell you what. Hey. I don't care what anyone says, putting lock washers on something like this instead of using Loctite or torquing it down on tools that are stuff that's going to come apart, not regularly, but it's going to happen a few times. It's so nice because when it's down, it holds it there, doesn't go anywhere, and once you break it loose, it just comes right off. Easy peasy. Let's see, which one of these is you? That one. This plate right here holds the handle to this. kind of thin. I don't know if it's under that much stress to hold it up, or if they just did that to do it. But hey, any reinforcement's a good thing, so I'm not going to complain. Figure out how to get this thing off here. By the way, yes, this is the appropriate use of this tool. And no, I'm not worried about scratching this thing. And I don't plan on restoring it either. I just plan on making it work. Well, I need a flathead or something to do this with. A good multi-tool is a good thing to have, if it'll work. This one was given to me by my father, and I love it. I don't remember when he gave it to me. It was a long time ago. I think he was trying to teach me about a lesson on responsibility and keeping track of things. Anyways, I lost it for a few years and found it in a barn later. There we go. And then pry it up. This end pried apart. There we go. That's the internals of it. And this, yeah, gonna get greasy. This is the hammer in this tool right here. I'll set the rest of it aside. And this is the gearbox housing. This is the what I'm going to try to remove here is there we go. And that's how this fits together. Or is supposed to fit together at least. And I'm not too worried about the amount of stress it's going to be under, because what that gear mates to is connected to this piece by a spring. So when it hits, the hammer hits the anvil, which is this piece, it'll hit it like that. And once it stops it, this will stay turning, and the motion of that will actually pick this piece up. And once it slides over the top, it's spring-loaded. It forces it back down and slams it into it again, which helps give you that the impact. That's why they call it an impact driver, if you couldn't figure that out. Ain't the cleanest table. I'm trying not to get this thing too full of grit. So, now I've got my hands all greasy, let's get into the small box of components and try to see if one of these rivets will fit. Ooh, perfect. If y'all can see that, I don't know how well you can. It sticks out just the right amount, I think. I believe these aluminum rivets are rated at, I don't know about these specifically, but the one estimate I found, they're rated for 310 pounds of shear force. This impact driver's actual impact piece is only going to go up to 750 pounds-foot of torque. I don't know if any of that will line up, but let's just assume that's 300 pounds of shear force apiece. That's approximately 1,800 pounds, if I did my math right enough. Which means I need to remove the lock on this thing. Which means, hopefully, they'll hold together. And if they don't, they're aluminum and everything in here is steel. So if something comes apart, it shouldn't ruin the mechanism. Well, that didn't work. Perfect. Okay. It did exactly what it was supposed to. It just broke off the piece in the wrong spot, but that's okay. I can deal with that. Okay. Now, see, that's what it's supposed to do. Just like this. Honestly, that's looking somewhat professional enough-ish. Okay, not really, but it's what we got. Now, I know some of y'all probably don't want to see me using my greasy hands on these tools like this, but trust me, I'll go clean them. I promise. Maybe. They're lubricated. That's fine. Ow! Bust my knuckles. By the way, don't get all greasy and then try to use tools like this. You'll hurt yourself. Alright, well, I need to do something about that. Now, what can I do? I'll tell you what, I don't know how well I can do this, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go wash these tools. This one specifically. It's not mine. And find a good heavy pair of wire clippers and try to snip that or break it off with channel locks or something. But I'll be right back. You know what? Let's see if this will break them off. Oh, would you look at that? Broke right off. That's all I needed. Okay, well, now that is one piece, I'm going to attempt to very gently, without getting all this covered in grit, which I think I've already failed at, reassemble this tool. Now don't let it look nice. Put the cap back on. There. You know what I need to do? I need to buy gloves. I need to buy some nice heavy rubber gloves. And wear them when I'm going to get grease on me. Then I can just take them off. Them off and not have to fight like this. Yeah, I could do that, I could. But that requires common sense. We don't use that here. If you actually turn it like this, it works better. Ain't that just crazy? Oops. Now I'll tell y'all one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to find me some paper towels and wipe this joker down before I try to use it. And if I drop this tool one more time, well, I'm going to do absolutely nothing about it, so. Is it just me, or do you not usually see this kind of fastener head? What's this called? Hex head? Yeah. Allen head? I don't know. Someone's going to tell me. It feels like you only usually see this on European tools. I may be wrong, but European, Asian. I don't think you really see this a lot on American stuff. I don't know why. It's probably just one of those things that just kind of happened. I don't see one as superior over the others, so I don't know. Maybe I've always been using these things wrong. No, that's not possible. I can't make mistakes. I'm on the internet. Yes. Now, I probably need to grease this thing up before I actually use it. But I don't have anything to use it on. In fact, I don't even know if I have any sockets this big. So, well, I'm just going to see if it'll work when I plug it in. But first, I'm going to wipe myself down. I'm going to wipe that down. If I can find some paper towels. Well, I didn't find any paper towels, but I found this beach towel, so that's close enough, right? Well, maybe it's not a beach towel. Heck, I don't know. Apply brake cleaner. Don't use the non-flammable stuff. It's easier on your lungs, and you don't want that. Not to mention it don't work as good. At least to me, it don't. Although it is taking the paint off. See? Probably a reason why I shouldn't have used it. That's okay. Nobody minds. Right. Now let's see if this joker will actually work. Move these tools aside. Find somewhere to plug it into. Pray I don't get electrocuted. And, well, that made the lights dim, but it smells like old tools. Let's see if reverse works. Holy cow. This thing has enough torque. I tell you, you feel it. Watch. Well, I don't know if y'all can hear that, but when I switch it into reverse, that's the hammer smacking the anvil. You don't usually hear that, at least not in the tools I'm used to, but this is, I guess this is how it would have been used. Don't seem to spin real fast, but sounds healthy. I guess it's just geared real low. So yeah, I don't have anything to use it on, but I don't know if I have any sockets that'll fit. But there you go. If you ever happen to run into a daggone Ingersoll Rand one of these things, then it's got the same issue. That might hold together, maybe. Alright, I gotta have something around here. I'll be right back. Alright, well, I found some cheap adapters on Amazon. Got this bad boy here down to about a 1/2 inch drive, which a little small, but we're about to see if it'll get this here lug bolt off this tractor. Boy, that joker didn't even flinch. What was that? 1, 2, 3 hits with the impact? Yeah, that ain't. See if it'll put it back on. See if I can get it started. Shoot. Yeah, that's why I wanted something like this right here, is that it does just that whole little bit better than that 3/8 drive. And it's not super fast. Yeah. And I'm going to be honest, this thing's surprisingly easy to hold. Like, it doesn't knock back like you think it would. In fact, it doesn't do it at all. It's there's no real kickback, and maybe that's just because it's that heavy. But hey, it works. So yeah, that's a good old fashioned tool right there. Well, I'd like to thank y'all for watching, and if you didn't learn anything, I hope you at least enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.